Awesome. Welcome, everybody, to our Illuminate Your Life event. My name is Bridget, and I have the pleasure of being your host tonight. So, whether you are watching this live with us here tonight or catching the recording, a big, huge welcome. I'm so excited to share this evening with you all and just really explore a little bit around what it means to truly live your own life. So, maybe you've dreamed of having a little bit more freedom and flexibility in your life. And so we're here to kind of share with you how we've created that in our own lives through this incredible business model and these incredible products behind it. So I'm just going to invite you to sit back and listen with an open heart and an open mind. And tonight you're going to hear some wonderful stories from some beautiful women that I work alongside. Just to introduce myself briefly, when I came across this opportunity 7 years ago now, I was a busy mum with one little girl running around, and I had a wedding catering company. So I was actually searching for a health program at the time, and I stumbled across a post on Facebook, and I joined one of the challenges that we offered, and the results just blew me away. And by following the program and just eating well, living well, and supplementing well, I noticed really positive changes in my health. And I started to really understand the power of whole foods and what impact that it had on my body in a deeper level. It wasn't that I ate badly before, but just a few small tweaks in my diet and things changed, made a huge change in my life. So I fell in love with these products, which led to me in turn signing up as a partner 4 months later. I was so passionate about helping others, and I just really wanted them to feel the best that they could. Just a little bit about Juice Plus, our beautiful products and the company. The company has actually been around for over 30 years now, and we're in 24 countries at the moment, and there's definitely more coming up. And if you didn't know, the health and wellness industry is itself is $1 trillion market. So more and more people these days are looking to take care of themselves. They're increasingly aware of what they're putting into their bodies, and Juice Plus as a product has really stood the test of time when it comes to that. We all know that we need to eat more fruit and vegetables. No, I'm passionate about health and wellness, but even I definitely don't nail my nutrition every day. So this is just a way that we bridge that gap between what we're eating every day and what our body needs to thrive every day. A little bit about my journey through this business. I told you I was a caterer, so I thought owning my own business was the way to give myself some freedom that I was seeking. I soon realized that owning your own business does not equal freedom. If you've had your own business, you might understand a little bit about what I'm talking about. But I was working 16-hour days and spending every weekend at weddings in the summer. And though I loved it, it just didn't align with what my new highest value was, and that was my family. I really started to resent those long days catering in the summer, and my husband and my daughter would be at the beach and I would be heading off to a wedding. So when I first started this, it wasn't that I thought it could replace my income as a caterer, but the thought of maybe having that extra income that meant I didn't have to take those jobs in the winter that I didn't enjoy would mean that I could have more time with my daughter over the winter. So in the end, that's exactly what happened. I had that extra part-time income, and that gave me a little bit more freedom back to make those choices for my family, which was really, really important. And then over the time, as my vision grew, so did my passion for helping others, and the excitement grew. And even though I was very time poor as a caterer, I definitely enjoyed there was a step-by-step process, and that enabled me to do this in stolen moments. But then I became pregnant with my second child, and it really hit me then how short time was and how precious these moments were, and how much I'd actually missed out on my daughter when she was a baby, because I was just constantly working in the catering company at the time. So I really thought, like, this time I wanted it to be different. I sold my catering company, and the cool thing is now, because I had this building in the background, I get to work from home around my kids, and I'm there for all those special moments. I've never felt more aligned with anything in my life. And yeah, I get more and more excited about this business every single day. One of my favorite parts of this business is meeting other people around the world and getting to meet these women that have become like my sisters. And one of those is a beautiful woman, Jo. Jo is a single mum of 4, and she homeschools 3 of them. I don't know how she does that, but she does that while running 2 businesses on the side. So Jo, I would love you to come off mute and share a little bit of your inspiring story with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Bridge. Hey, everyone. I feel like I don't need to introduce myself now because Bridget has done that. But as you said, yeah, I am a single mum. I'm in North Canterbury. And you're probably going to hear my kids going crazy in the background. So I came across Juice Plus, all of this about 8 years ago now, which is crazy. That's like time's flown. And I was having a lot of health challenges myself. So with my kids, similar to Bridget's story, we found the program and I was really struggling and just really didn't have any guidelines of where to go. Saw a friend posting on Facebook about the results she was getting, and I just thought, look, I've tried everything out there and nothing was working for us. Jumped on board, and really the program taught me how to look after my body and my children's body and give me those, recipes and guidelines around how to take care of my body. And before I knew it, all those health challenges we were having were gone, which was amazing. And for me, if I find something I love, I'll tell everybody about it. And I think especially as a woman, we do that. And so I just started talking about our results and sharing with everybody. And before long, I just thought, actually, I could create a little extra income from this. At the time, I was working as a beauty therapist. I had 3 young children, and we were quite financially secure. And yeah, but my thing was that you just never know what's around the corner. And I think it's always great to have a plan B or a whatever you want to call it. And so I did this really part-time, to be honest, for like 4 years around my job, around my children, and made a really nice income that I could do lots of traveling. I got to meet, first time I met Bridget was at a conference in Perth. I got to go to America, travel around Australia and New Zealand. And then life throws, things at you. And I ended up having to move back from Australia back to New Zealand, and became a single parent in that time. And I never knew what a residual income was. People say that you can earn money while you're sleeping, and I was just like, yeah, whatever. That's not real. And then I found the power of those 4 years of that super part-time thing I was doing when the kids were having a nap, when I was on my lunch break at work. When I was in bed at night scrolling on my phone, I built this little income that allowed me, when I moved countries with 4 kids on my own, I didn't have to go and find a job. And I was able to stay home with my 4 kids. It's now been 5 years since we moved back to New Zealand. And for me, and I get a little bit emotional to talk about this, it's just given me so much flexibility and freedom. I thought I was stuck in that 9 to 5 for my whole entire life. I was doing the long drives to work and dropping my daughter off at 7 in the morning at daycare and picking her up at 6 at night. She was the first kid dropped off in the morning and the last kid picked up, and I just thought that was me forever. And now I look back in that, I think I can't believe I ever lived that life. So you just never know what's around the corner. And for me now to be able to have the choice to homeschool my children, yes, I know it's not for everybody, but for me, it's been the most amazing thing to have the flexibility and freedom. I also have another business, and coming from this, as I really, like Bridget was saying, I've really had a passion for food and health, and now I've created we do a meal delivery business around whole foods, around teaching people how to be healthier. And so it's just another business I've created around this on top of that. The travel we've got to do, the friendships, like I've known some of these ladies on here for years, and also the self-development. I was not this person 8 years ago. This has made me grown so much, and there's just so much to be thankful for with having this business, and I'm excited now to keep growing. I want to do lots more traveling, and empower other single mums that you can do this, and also that giving people flexibility and freedom, health and wellness, it's such a big thing at the moment, and I think a lot of people are struggling financially, and I think if we can show them the way, that's really what fills my cup. So that's me. I'm going to pass it back to Bridge.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love your story. And like you said, you never know, like when your plan B needs to become your plan A. I think that also happened for me in a different way. And yeah, the fact that this business could really look after you in a time of your life that was, you know, probably not the best time in the best few years of your life then. So I think, and also having that community around you to support you as well is huge, you know. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jo. And now I'd love to introduce another beautiful friend of mine that I've had the pleasure of working alongside and watching her grow in this last year. She's definitely, I would call her an entrepreneur at heart. She managed to buy her first home when she was 24, which she told me the other day, which I found out, which is freaking incredible. She's got 2 young children. She also runs an Airbnb while she's doing this business on the side, and you'll often find her building things and making things for people in her spare time. She is amazing. So Rach, I'd love for you to jump off and share with us how this journey has impacted you so far.
Hi, as Bridget said, my name's Rachel, and I originally was a kitchen designer, and I did that for 10 years, and I always had a dream to be able to own my own home, have kids. This was like the step-by-step process. It had to be have my house, have kids, and be able to work from home. You know, so I guess that's why I started as a kitchen designer. I thought that I could be an interior designer as a business from home. Well, the 10 years prior to having kids, I realized that I didn't actually enjoy the stress that was involved with putting kitchens into people's houses. That, especially being the last thing being installed, often ended up with, you know, little tiny issues, and they'd end up being the biggest problem. And I became the go-to person for problem solving. And so I kind of didn't really know if I wanted to continue that after having children. So I had kids, and I was sort of in this space where I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But initially, I was not looking for a business. I was just in the moment of being a young mum with 2 children, and our health was actually really struggling. So I came across the products first initially, and we actually didn't have the finances to be able to, with having our mortgage, and we actually have another investment property as well, and which we're having to top up. So we didn't really have any spare funds to be able to put into our health. And so when I heard that this was an opportunity to be able to help support the product cost, I thought, oh, why not give it a go? It could be a win-win. And yeah, I think another side of my story is my family is a little bit of a fair way away from where we live. And so I kind of felt a little bit imprisoned and lonely in our house, especially with no funds. We weren't able to really go out and enjoy little moments with the kids, or, you know, teaching them, you know, going to activities and stuff like that, because we just couldn't afford. Even, you know, they go out and they're like, oh, mummy, I'm hungry. You couldn't even like go and get them food because we just were that financially struggling. So when I leaned into this, I found the product programs changed our health in more ways than one. I leaned into the community and found friendships, opportunity for personal growth, and so much support. It's mind-blowing. And hearing other people's stories really has empowered me to see what this could be. There's so many mums that have been fitting this in around their busy lives. Like, I thought I was busy. Said you should have seen the list I sent where I just couldn't do this business when I first was introduced to the business. But I could see that other people were doing this in around their incredibly busy lives as well. And that just blew my reasons out of the water. So I was like, well, if they can do it, then why can't I? So I gave it a go, and I'm only 1 year into this journey. It truly has been the answer to my dreams. As I said, I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mum with my kids, be my own boss, and I even did aspire to having my own business one day. Yeah, so overall, I guess being able to be home with my kids, I know how important those first 1,000 days are with them and their personal, you know, and not their personal development, their development. And I didn't want to miss out on all the memories that we have, yeah, with, you know, the first that they go through. So yeah, I was just, where am I at? So yeah, I wasn't looking for a business, but this really has shown me what is possible to have family, flexibility, income, and growth. And I'm super excited for the future, what's possible here. This really is a bright, shining light for what was a dark tunnel for us when I first came across this. So I'm so glad I said yes to this. So I'll pass it back to Bridget.
Thank you, Rach. I love it. I love your story, and it's quite crazy because it actually, as you kind of went through your story, sorry, I'm funny with this, but you actually said what you wanted in the beginning. It seems to me like you've actually worked out those steps quite perfectly by accident. So it's quite amazing. You never know. Like, I think if you have a dream, and it does work out how you want it in the end, you know. So next, I would love to bring on Ing, and she's going to share a little bit about our incredible products, which are really the star of this show. Ing is a mum of 3, including 2 children, just 12 months and 2 weeks apart. Yes, you heard that right. She's an immigrant from Norway living in New Zealand. So not only is she building her business from home around her 3 small children, but she also is on the other side of the world from her extended family, which definitely throws a little spanner in the works. So Ing, could you please share a little bit around our products, huh?
Yes, I would love to. Can you see me? Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Ingvill, or Ing. It's easier for you English speaking people to say. You guys have heard these beautiful stories around the business, and you're probably leaning close into the screen and wanting to understand more what this business is. So Bridge really beautifully wrapped what the company is about and what we stand for. A legacy company that is truly unique to partner with. But they do, the company's mission is to impact health globally, and we get to be part of that because we partner with the Juice Plus company as partners. And the supplements, the whole food supplements that Juice Plus work with, is what I'm going to share a little bit more about now. But before, if we go back a little bit for when I first started, so Bridget just say I have 3 kids. My oldest is 5. So when I first came across these products, I was postpartum with my first baby. So those of you who have children knows that that is a real life slap in the face. Like, everything changes, like your body changes, your metabolism changes, everything was changing. And I have always been very active and reasonably healthy. I come from Norway and we don't eat as much processed food. So I think according to the Kiwi standard, I'm very healthy, but I just, I'm very used to eating normal food and being very active. But postpartum, I didn't know what to do to bring myself back to it. I'm sure you guys can recognize what that feels like if you've been postpartum. But I was just having major shifts in my health. So my big energy dips, especially I would wake up with a brain fog, and in the afternoon, I would just crave something to boost my energy. My digestion was really going the wrong way. I mean, it is supposed to go that way, but it wasn't pleasant. I had a lot of headaches, and I was really struggling with my postpartum weight. I was like in that limbo between loving my body through what it's been through, but also craving my body to look and feel the way that it used to. And because I'd always been active and healthy, I knew my body needed something. I could feel it was lacking something. But I was breastfeeding at the time, and I've always been quite conscious of what I put in my body. Like, I didn't want to add a whole regime of medicine and supplements to help, like, to create other issues. So when I came across these products, it made sense to me. So I'm going to show them to you guys and see if it makes sense for you as well. Let me just bring this one up here. So very, very simple. Juice Plus is plant-based nutrition. So it's concentrated. It is convenient when you consider what it costs to source and juice all the plants that are in Juice Plus. It is actually a really affordable way to boost your nutrition intake for your whole family. I really love that it was no warning labels at all. There's food labels on the actual box. So there was 0 warning labels for me breastfeeding, and no worries if my on the move baby at the time were to get a hold of them, grab them and start chewing them down. I wouldn't have to go get his stomach pumped, right? So I have tried juicing before because I knew that it's very important to get lots of juice, fruit and vegetables and nutrients from them in, but it's very messy, it's very time consuming, and I'm too lazy. So I juiced some orange juice and stuff, but it wasn't, the fad went over, but I understand the importance of it. So if someone else can do the juicing for me, but I can get the health benefits from consuming that extra fruit and vegetables, I'm all for it. So I thought I'm just going to give it a go. So what exactly is Juice Plus? Well, like I just said, it is just food. In our core range, which is our fruit, veg, and berry, it is 33 different fruit, vegetables, and berries that are concentrated into a pulver. So like your greens powder, but into a pulver and then encapsulated. The produce that is used to create it is grown in using organic farming principles, which means it's not sprayed with lots of yucky stuff. It's not grown super close together. And they use the actual whole piece of fruit. So like pineapple, they actually use the whole pineapple. So I've never eaten pineapple peel before. It's quite spiky, but like that's something that you get in, right? The whole skin and the flesh and the pips. And a lot of people would know that a lot of nutrients actually lie in the skin. And yeah, I don't usually eat the skin that much of the fruit and vegetables. So all of that nutritional value is packed in there. So everything is in there and everything is washed and cleaned and chilled right after. So it's grown to its peak ripeness and then it's picked and washed and cleaned and chilled. So it doesn't travel long distances and it doesn't ripe on the road. It's on the facility where it's actually grown. Then it's blended together. So lots of vegetables blended together. The moisture is removed from the mixture and it's got this patented dehydration process, and majority of the sugar and the salts come out at the same time. And then this beautiful powder is left that is encapsulated into this encapsule, which is made of tapioca, which is also natural. So there is no labs, there is no chemicals, there is no heat or glue to keep the capsule together. It is 100% natural. So this was very important for me when I looked into it, because like I said, I didn't want to supplement with any chemically made supplements. It's tested. It is third-party tested, triple tested, and so there's no pesticides or herbicides, artificial flavors. I said it's natural, but I go through it anyway, just so you know that it's, you know, free from GMO and all of the nasties that you can find if the fruit has been contaminated or the vegetable along the way. So I was all in. I was like, yeah, this is great. I need this, and capsules are great for me. But I had a little son and I wanted to get the goodness into him as well. And what I really love is that it's got chews as well. So the fruit and vegetables comes in chews as well. So it's a really, really great way to get lots of nutrients every single day into your kids as well, right? The same that's in the capsules is in the chew, the same dehydrated fruit and vegetable powder, and has made into a chewable form. So they're free again from artificial flavors. They're free from preservatives or that white sugar, and it's actually not considered confectionery, which most kids' chewables that you get from the supermarket are considered confectionery. And what I really loved about the chews as well is that they come for free. If your kids are over 4, you get free chews when you buy an adult portion. So I jumped on that, and as soon as my son started eating, I bought him the chews, and he was having them as well. The company is also really dedicated to promote the healthy starts across the planet, right? So like I said before, the chews come free with the capsules, and that's actually part of a healthy start study. So they've actually done a study to check what happens, what's the feedback from the parents of these kids when they consume these chews regularly, like every day over a several month period. And what they found was that these kids had fewer sick days, fewer doctor visits, less prescription medication. They were eating more fruit and vegetables, drinking more water, and they were concentrating better. So those were like really cool health changes to come out of the study to show that what happens when your kids, like there's literally raw kale in this, like my child has never eaten raw kale, but he's had it from the juice since he started taking those when he was very little. Another thing that I really liked when I looked into Juice Plus was that instead of paying a lot of celebrities to endorse their product, they actually put their money back into clinical trials. So they are the most researched nutraceutical product available on the planet, which is really, really cool. There are a bunch of that. If you're into that, which I am, then you just, whoever brought you here, you could say, hey, I want to have a little look at these studies. There are over 30 peer-reviewed journals done on the products. The fourth and pretty powerful, but most recent capsule that was released is our vegan omega. So we all know the importance of omega-3. These also have omega-5, 6, 7, and 9. It's a full broad spectrum omega. So lots and lots of great omega fatty acids that your body needs, right? It's the thing that we can't create. We have to consume to get it in. So that's our omega blend. And if you follow along someone that's brought you here and you've seen on their stories or on their pages on social media that they have smoothies a lot, if you follow me, you would have seen that heaps. It is our complete powders. So our complete powders is actually macronutrition from dehydrated whole foods again. So again, it's not lab made, but it's from dehydrated whole foods. So no whey, so it means no bloating and no digestive issues. And it's a clean soy protein in there, and it's a really excellent way to stay full longer because soy is slower to digest than whey is. So it's vegan, and it comes in the chocolate and vanilla, and it has a perfect little blend of protein, complex carbohydrates, superfoods, and great fiber. They have a lot of your RDAs in those complete powders. They taste really nice. We're a smoothie family. We are fully converted. I have smoothies every day, and my kids, as soon as they start eating, I start adding little, like a third of a scoop or whatnot of the complete into their smoothies, and they love it. And it's a real peace of mind when they go into that beige diet season where they only eat bread and cheese, and you can add a little bit more with these superfood powders. They're really good. They're amazing for digestion with the little kids. And then last but not least, we have very recently released our Perform protein. This is our performance protein. It is an incredible blend of natural amino acids from tart cherry and beetroot. If you work out a lot, I do that, and like the DOMS, or like the delayed muscle soreness, is pretty much non-existent when I have this after my workout. It is a high protein, so the complete is more of a gentle low protein, right? It's not necessarily a protein powder, and hence why we can so comfortably give it to the kids. But the Perform is high protein, and it's got really, really low sugar. It is a beautiful protein blend. Again, it is a super, super pure soy. So it's going to boost your protein levels because it's a high protein powder, but it's also going to keep you full longer than a whey protein would. My body doesn't take whey well at all, and there's no protein gas from having this every single day, which I and everyone in my household is very excited about. So that is our beautiful product range. So like I said, I have been around here for 4 years, gosh, maybe 4.5 now. And I have been taking these products the whole time. I've had, like Bridget said, 2 more kids, 12 months between them in that time slot. And the recovery in my body that I have noticed taking these products and being part of our programs, educating myself on how to eat healthy and how to incorporate more whole foods. Like the last 2 pregnancies, I lost no hair. Like I literally have more thicker hair, right? It's like no hair loss, none of that. Like since I started this first time postpartum, right, I was struggling with the things that I said before, but I was also losing hair. My skin was breaking out, which is often a sign that things aren't working on the inside. And the last 2 times, it's been the bounce back from pregnancy, recovering in my body and maintaining energy through those through the pregnancy season and the postpartum season has been way easier. I get comments on that all the time. Like, how do you have so much energy, right? We've got 3 kids, 5 and under, and these products in this program have really just helped me figure out how to keep my body filled up, right, topped up with what it needs, so it's constantly working, because it never stops when you have little kids. It's really helped me. The program's really helped me with that. Like I said in the beginning, I wanted to look and feel the way that I felt that I looked and felt before I had babies. Like, I'm not one to be super strict on what my body needs to look like, but when you weigh less, when you gain more weight, right? Getting up off the floor, getting out of bed in the morning, moving around, running after my kids, having that extra energy. At 3 o'clock, I'm rolling around on the floor playing with my kids instead of rummaging in the pantry to find some chocolate to keep me going till dinner time, right? So it's not a weight loss product, and it's not a quick fix product, but it's really that longevity of health, and the program that goes around them really has really helped me, teach me how to create longevity of health within my family. And my kids are along the ride. They're learning about what's in the products. They're learning about what's on their plate. We have talk about healthy food a lot in the house, and it's a very healthy relationship to it, instead of that mum's on a diet kind of relationship that a lot of people grew up with seeing. So yeah, that's our beautiful product range, and a little bit about my story about them. I'm going to pass it back to Bridget.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ing, for sharing that. You're amazing. Yeah, I love our program and our products, and I think the thing that Ing definitely mentioned, it is something that can fit into your whole family, which makes it so much easier, for sure. I just wanted to share just a little bit kind of around, I guess, what makes our business a little bit different than a traditional job, So, and I think a good way to explain that is, you may or may not have heard of Robert Kiyosaki, and he is the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he teaches you about that there's 4 different ways to earn income, So there's an employee, which most of us know. You start off as an employee, you trade your time for money, working for someone else. So your income is always kept at how many hours that you can work, right? And of course, then you're controlled by whoever's your employer. There's been self-employed. You can work for yourself, but at the end of the day, what I found out is you're still trading time for money. You kind of own your job. And I thought that was the answer to my problems. But after, owning my own business and being self-employed for 7 years, I realized that wasn't quite the answer. There's a business owner then. So you can build a system that works for you, and that allows you to have a leverage income and a system that continues to work with or without you. And that's what we have here in this business, that's what sets us apart. And then the 4th one he talks about is an investor. And that's when your money creates an income for you, which is definitely something that a lot of us would like to strive for, I'm sure, in the future, to become an investor. So yeah, like I said, most people start off as employees or self-employed individuals, but this business allows us to step into the 3rd category of becoming a business owner. And the thing is, it's with minimal risk and a proven system that supports you with success, which is huge, because unlike a traditional job where your income stops when you do, this business provides that residual income, like Joe and I talked about, or what I'll share with you now, like Joe talked about before. And the effort that you put in today can continue to pay you into the future, So for me, that meant in seasons that were tough, like I had a pregnancy that with my son that I had hyperemesis. I was literally so sick and spent a lot of time lying on the bathroom floor. And then as a newborn, he had silent reflux and eczema. And this business continued to pay me in those times where I just could not do anything. And so that's the power of building something that works for you, and not just you working for it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and for Jo, it was in that time that she had to leave Australia and come to New Zealand, and she couldn't work, and the business continued to pay her. So in closing, this opportunity allowed me to stay home with my son, for the first 3 years of his life. It allowed me to be that mother that I'd always wanted to be. And yeah, that mother that I hadn't felt like I could have been to my daughter. My son isn't Dick actually now. He started when he was 3, but not because he needed to start, but it was because he was ready and he really craved that interaction with other kids. But with my daughter, she had to go into full-time care when she was only 8 months old. And that was because I didn't have a choice. You know, I think I did my first catering job back when she was only 2 weeks old. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a mum and working and putting your kids in childcare, but that wasn't for me. That wasn't the freedom that I wanted. And I, you know, like Rach had talked about before, I really wanted to be home during those precious early years with my kids. So I'm forever grateful that I took a chance on this 7 years ago. And that one moment of saying, what if, allowed me to pause, it allowed me to dream, and it completely changed the direction of my life. So I just want to leave you with this tonight. You know, if there's some stories that might have sparked a little glimmer of curiosity, just don't let it fade. You know, take that next step, reach out to the person who invited you, and you can start imagining what's possible for you. You know, just ask yourself, like, what if this is the change that you've been searching for? Because that one moment of curiosity, like I had 7 years ago, it might just change everything for you too. So just to end on that note too, this month for January, if you're on here or if you're watching the recording in January, we actually have 50% off our partnership fee. So it is an incredible time to be able to jump on board and take advantage of that. So if you'd like to know more about that or anything else tonight, just reach out to the person who invited you here, and I hope I get to see you inside this space again soon. So have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much.